Hello, gamers! Welcome to episode 41 of Gamers Galaxie. Today, we are talking with FGL, a game studio which is producing a up-and-coming game on the Immutable platform, which is Outlaw Troopers. But before we start talking to them, Rubick, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Looking forward to this conversation with the guys from FGL with their game Outlaw Troopers.
Yeah, absolutely. Right off the bat, FGL, just blown away. They've been working on things since 2007. They've worked with over 70,000 developers, which just blows my mind. I didn't even know like that kind of number existed for developers, but I guess in a world of 9 billion people, that's actually pretty accurate. But you know me, I'm not really tied into the game development world as much as you are, Rubick. Welcome to the show. We have Martine and Roger. How are you both doing today?
Yeah, feeling good. Thanks so much for inviting us.
Yeah, doing great. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, so we're going to jump right into this. We got a lot to get through. Why don't you tell us a small segment about yourselves, the game development journey, and what got you into crypto and inspired you to build your game using blockchain technology? Start us off with that.
Yeah. Shall I kick it off?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So like you said, FGL's been around for a long time. For over 17 years now. It's crazy to just realize that. But yeah, back then we started in the Flash web games era. So just like games built in Flash that you just play it on the web, and that's it. Yeah, like super simple, super straightforward. And in that time, like of course the whole the whole game industry was very different, and there was like a lot of hobbyists and cowboys around basically. So like in that time we worked with thousands of developers. And after that time, like around 2012, we ventured more into the mobile space and mobile apps. And that's when FGL really started taking on the form as a publisher instead of just like a platform provider. We published a lot of free-to-play mobile games. We're still in that business as well. Still have some projects running on the side, mostly very casual games like puzzles and simulations. And it's about 2.5 years ago when we first started, nearly 3 years ago, that we first started taking our steps into Web3 games. And for us, it was mostly also about just kind of an exciting place to find new players. Whenever we see a new opportunity, we're always like very curious to try it out, and we have like a small and a very agile team. So it's like for us also like relatively easy to pivot and try out something new. Like before, we had also like tried some games on Roblox, for example. With Web3, we're also like, hey, let's test it out and try it out. And right now we have 4 games operating, and that all like work with the FGL token that connects them, and there's like NFTs that are interoperable. Really trying to sort of deliver to that Web3 promise of the interoperability. We still act as a publisher, so like most of those 4 games we haven't developed those themselves. There's actually only one that we developed in-house of those 4, and the rest are all done by individual development teams that we cooperate with. We bring developers together. I'll shut up now and I'll let Roger talk because I talk way too much.
No, that's a great summary. So I'm the general manager of FGL now, so I'm like just doing kind of a little bit of everything. Running the mobile side of the business and getting into these Web3 games. And like Martine said, 3 years ago, we saw this opportunity on the horizon. Actually, on our on FGL's board is one of the co-founders of the Wax blockchain, and he was always like, "You guys should try this out." And so finally, like about 2.5 years ago now, we were like, okay, let's give it a shot. It looks like the technology is far enough along. that we can make a go at this and try some games. And I actually built our first game, and just to get us right in the to get us in the door quickly. Just a simple, you collect spaceship NFTs and you battle them against opponents on a leaderboard, and that's called Cosmic Clash. And that that was our very first entry into the system, and it was a huge success. Like back then, I think that was January of 2022. It was still fairly exciting in the crypto space, and the Wax blockchain in particular was really doing well, and there's a lot of excitement around the game, and it was a really big success, even just a simple game like that. So we set about finding some more developers, and we ended up with we have 3 more titles now operating under the FGL label.
It's crazy. That's awesome. I didn't realize that you guys were so big from like as an organization. And then so you're still doing the Web 2 thing as well, or is it just Web 3 now as an organization?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, we still have some of the mobile free-to-play games live. So if you search FGL in the Google Play Store, you'll still find some of the games there. But it's been a while since we released a brand new game. The ones that we have, we're still updating those, still providing them with new content, still running marketing campaigns for them, because they still have lots of players. And I think having so many years of that live ops experience has also really helped us on the Web3 side. Just kind of knowing how to have such a content pipeline flowing, and to handle the communication with all the different dev teams, and of course on the marketing side as well. Although I have to say that was for the Web3 space kind of the one of the biggest learning curves for us, to really sort of get into a totally different mindset when it comes to marketing for that. But yeah, having all that experience has really helped us in our Web3 journey.
Yeah, it's really interesting you say that about the. I'm kind of an anomaly in the Web3 space. I am, and so is our Gamers Galaxie was built on the premise of three pillars. But the first one's the most important, is gameplay and fun. We play games for fun. That's the number one reason. Number 2 is we like to own our stuff, and number 3, if you can earn some tokens along the way, great. But you'll find that majority of people in Web3 are when am I going to get rich, and we're still in that transition period of people really being open to playing Web3 games for the way Gamers Galaxie does. It's there's either the ones that want to make money or the ones that say NFTs are scams, and there's very few in between. So I find that people that try to market at that middle place at the moment are doing so with danger because of that position we're in.
No, we ran into that right off the bat, because we come from pure gaming also, so we were just okay, we'll build a game, and you own your assets and can trade them and stuff, and it started out everyone was excited about it, but we gradually started shedding a lot of those people that just want that earn mentality. They don't really want the game part, So we were able to carve out this core of actual gamers, that really want the gameplay. They're there for fun, and a little earning on the side is exciting, and it's fun. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely it was kind of a struggle to reach a lot of people, because most of them just want what we call clicker games. You log in, you click, you get some tokens, and that's it. And they call that a game, and
Right.
Well, that's how I was introduced to Web3 gaming myself. My partner's from the region in the Philippines that is where Axie Infinity took off. So it started up in Cabanatuan, I think it's what it's called, and that's where she's from. So really early days, I found out about this Axie Infinity thing, and being a gamer who had played EverQuest and got offered $5,000, who'd been offered thousands of dollars for Clash of Clans accounts. So you had to sell your whole account, and I just felt I never did it because it was against the rules. But I always thought, why shouldn't I be allowed to? I spent hours and hours and hours building that and spent money. Why shouldn't I be allowed to sell that to someone? And I always had that in the back of my head. So when I saw this Axie Infinity come along, I was like, wow, this makes sense. And but I can tell you, I started a scholarship program to help, because the town that my partner's from is very poor. and so she's got a lot of contacts of people that earn like maybe $150, $200 a year. So, if you can make them $1,000 in a month playing a computer game, like that, you can imagine that was like to them. That was like gold. It was like the opportunity of their lifetime. That's why it went through the roof in the Philippines, and why 50% of players on Ronin are from the Philippines, because they were all early. They were the first people in the game when the Ponzi schemes got started. And so I've seen both sides, but that is like a one-time only event. That's never going to happen again. People, the next game that came along, it was Crabada, and it lasted for not 8 months like Axie Infinity. It only lasted for 2 months. And then the next one to come along was Crypto Unicorns, and its peak was 1 week before the game launched. As the game was about to launch, the prices of everything went through the roof. And then just before, like 4 or 5 days before the game launched, everything just tanked off a cliff. So it's like people caught on that they had to get out earlier to be at the top as each game came out. And now there's no such thing as the Ponzi returning. So I really respect games that are like what you're describing, that aren't willing to sacrifice their soul to just for cash. They can see the value in what this can bring to put gamers by just giving them ownership and a little bit of tokens here and there, like just a little bit,
Yeah, and that's why our games have had longevity. They're still going. People are still playing them because the token hasn't gone to zero, and like the NFTs still have value because people they want to play, they want to battle, they want to win, and they've been going for over 2 years now. So it can work. It's just a matter of finding those people that are willing to enter the Web3 space, but also really just want a game, with some ownership.
Right.
Yeah, it's also a big matter of like the marketing. We've always been very careful with like wording, like play to earn, because we don't want to, give people the impression that they can just like make a living by playing our games. It's not one of those schemes. So yeah, we've always been, like really transparent, sort of more in our wording there, because we also feel like that we have like a bit of a responsibility there.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are coming into this space. You know what the landscape is like. We've noticed a lot of games they're kind of doing a lot of the same things, whether it's a MOBA, it's an RTS, it's a click game, as you called it earlier, which there's several of those out there. And we know the challenges of getting that volume to actually participate in your own ecosystem. What is your guys' best elevator pitch of why Outlaw Troopers is different and what you're doing to grab that volume?
If I try to describe Outlaw Troopers in one sentence, I would say it's a top-down, real-time CCT space battler. Cram all the words in one sentence. And that's like sort of the action part of the game. But there's also more a hands-off part of the game. And that's more of like a resource management game. So there's something for both types of players.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to summarize it. It's like, and like we've kind of added a third piece now too. But yeah, that's how I would say it too. It's like it's kind of like a sandbox game, because you have a lot of different paths to like success. Like you can try to win the leaderboard. That's one way to like win, or you can win the arena leaderboard where you're upgrading these units and battling other players on another leaderboard, or you can work the black market and sell all your resources and like make extra FGL tokens. That's another way to win. So I usually call it like a sandbox, and then like Martin said, it's like a simulation management game, and then with a real-time combat.
Yeah, I was playing around with it a little bit today before this interview, just trying to get my feet wet and see what it was doing. And like one of the things that cracked me up was I was doing the resource management. I tried the arena. I figured out this one mode where it was a top-down. I was flying my ship around, then got attacked. Yeah. But the one I was setting up my missions, because you have missions, you have dailies and stuff like that to accomplish. I was setting up. Yep. I was going to rent ships, and I was renting ships, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm doing this, and like I was getting resources by doing these missions. But then I selected a fourth ship, and I got this thing like negative 250 corruption. and like one of my resources started going
Yeah.
down, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, so I had to take it out, and like it caught me off guard, but I kind of chuckled. I was like, okay, I can see what they're doing here. So it was pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, like it's really like if you're the kind of person that really likes to like nerd out about stats and like min maxing things, and it really brings that aspect out, and that's what our community loves to do. Like loves to figure out like what's like the best mission setup you can do, and what are the best gears you can use in the battles to to push the highest level possible. It really lets you dive into that aspect.
Where are we up to with the game? Is it like finished now, fully developed, or is there more and more being built on it? Still what's the long-term vision if it's not already where it is now?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's finished, but so it's a seasonal game. Each season lasts about 6 weeks, and then we have a few weeks of downtime. And what the developers tries to do is every new season add like some new content, like mix things up, add some new strategies, some new enemies to defeat, and so sometimes even like a whole new game mode. So it's like the game's complete, feature complete, but there's always new features on the horizon with the next season to look forward to.
Oh, interesting.
Is there rewards at the end of each season for whoever does the best? How does that work?
Yeah, yes, exactly. There's and there's a lot of leaderboards. There's the main leaderboard. Now that's where you win more troopers, so then you can like put them to work the next season. So the idea is that you slowly grow your empire and how many troopers you manage and how many robots you have working for it and stuff like that. So there's that main one, and that's all based about running encounters and leveling up your empire. Whoever has the highest level empire at the end of the season, wins the biggest prizes. But then there's also this arena mode that has its own leaderboard. That's where you're getting units, kind of like the Guardians and Guild of Guardians. You have all these units, you're upgrading them, you're making teams of 5, and then they auto battle other teams of 5. And there's a new leaderboard for that.
Okay.
And each one lasts the full season, and throughout the season you're like earning all, like you said, you saw those little resources like credits and ore, and all that stuff resets at the end of the season, and like we start all over again.
Oh.
With a new competition. So like each season's like totally fresh. You come in with your NFTs that you've built up, but that's it. And so so it's like it's exciting. The beginning of season is like, okay, let's figure out what the new strategies are. And it's just like kind of like a rush to the top at the beginning.
Awesome.
And does the FGL token get used, the utility for it, like in the game to upgrade and things like that?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like it's deeply integrated. It's how you do pretty much everything. If you want to if we're talking about like loops and stuff like that, so you'll spend FGL tokens to run that little encounter that you did, flying the spaceship around. You were probably doing the free. There's like some starter levels at the beginning, but then after you get a little higher, you have to pay FGL tokens to run those. And like the better you do, the more enemies you kill, the more reputation you get, and the higher you go on the leaderboard. So that's probably the main spend, but you can also use FGL tokens to mint things. So you can like mint your own robots, you can mint the gears that you can put on your ship, which basically is like the abilities that it has. You can mint a planet deed with FGL, and then also that arena piece I told you about, that costs FGL to play too. So I mean, it's basically like the currency for the whole game.
Very cool. Speaking of the FGL token, you currently are in the middle of a pretty big NFT sale going on for about a month here, I believe. And for every $5 that you spend, you get a certain amount of FGL airdropped around, I think, the 24th of June or something like that. I seen you're listed on Passport to be able to buy, and you are on our favorite exchange, Token Trove, who happens just to sponsor the show as well. Thank you, Token Trove. I got to give them a shout out. What kind of airdrop are we getting for purchasing your NFTs right now?
Yeah, so our idea was that instead of trying to do like an initial sale of the of the token on ZK EVM, we'll just give it out as an extra bonus to getting in early, buying this first round of NFTs that we're selling. So how we're doing it is basically just for every $5 you spend on an NFT, we're gonna airdrop you 200 of our tokens, to start the game with. So you're gonna, if you pick up a few starter packs, you can jump right into the game and start and just have the tokens you need to dive right in.
Awesome. Martine, we didn't forget about you. Any comments on that?
No, Roger's just doing a great job at that.
With the sale, first thing I noticed was I felt a bit overwhelmed. Someone that hasn't played the game, I actually didn't get time to play the game. I say that every single episode, don't I? When it comes to games, I've got to start changing that somehow. But I'm spending so much time creating content. I don't play games anymore. It's ridiculous. Anyway, there's a lot of types of NFTs for sale. That's one thing I was like, whoa, there's 20 different packs to buy. So what's the absolute minimum I need to play? And we can
so we there's you can click, we have a more info about each one, and at the top there's a little button that says what NFTs should I buy, if your listeners want to really dig into the nitty gritty. But all you need, what we try to do here is, since we've actually been working on this multi-chain idea for a while, and we wanted to build it so it was nice on gas fees. You don't have to worry about having tons of trades and stuff like that. So what we did was packed a bunch of our assets into single decks. So what we tried to do with that top row, the starter decks, is give you everything you need to fully access the game. I said there was a bunch of different parts. There's the battling, the arena, and all that. So these starter decks will let you access all of those pieces. Go ahead.
I was going to say, the absolute basics and what you would need to run the game is just one trooper. But of course, the more troopers you have, then the more missions you can run simultaneously. And like you just said, when you try the game, you can rent ships. But yeah, there's also ship NFTs that you can own and then bring them into the missions. So it's kind of also a layer deeper. The more people are interested in the game, the more they can really get into it. They can get their quit robots to also run missions for them. You have all types of gear to sort of enhance the missions that you run. So there's actually a lot of depth that the game offers. But we really try to make sure that it really has an easy entry point. So if you really only want to try it out, you can get started with just one trooper and then see if you like the game.
Awesome. Yeah, so I heard someone talk about a little bit earlier that you guys are on the Wax blockchain, and now you're over at Immutable. I'm assuming you're going ZK EVM. Is that correct?
Yeah. We actually started on Immutable X.
Okay.
Because we started before the ZK event came out, and we were we were poking around that, and then we got hooked up with a partner on the Immutable team, and they were like, listen, you can release it on this, but what our focus is the ZK EVM, and that's where all the interest is going to be. So they recommended that we switched over to this one.
What was the?
I actually liked it a lot better.
Yeah. What was the drive to start exploring to another blockchain like Immutable, and your choice for that?
It kind of goes back to that thing we were talking about what players are looking, what people on the chain are looking for. So we were looking around for a community that would be more interested in actual gaming, instead of the DeFi and all the token stuff. And we've just I've been so I checked out Polygon and Mutable and a bunch of them, and it really struck out to me how Mutable was like laser focused on like real games, you know, the gaming aspect, you know, like laser focused, like every single, you know, like marketing they do is just about playing, you know, fun games. So,
Yep.
you know, so to me, it just made a lot of sense to approach this community and try to get in early with this community and really help them build it.
Yeah, it's that's why we're here as well. You know, like WT and I, like both like I'm more gamer than WT, but he also loved the. It just feels like they're doing it for the right reason in an industry filled with people that are less than desirable. There was a tweet today that went out from another founder of a competitor chain, calling them white boys and you know, don't know anything about crypto. I just can't believe that someone like so unprofessional would write something like that. And you'd never see that from Immutable. They're just so professional. You know, they won't respond.
Very careful. Yep.
Yeah, they won't say anything like that. They wouldn't want to be like that. They want everyone to win. They've said it multiple times. You know, anytime someone attacks them, the only thing they ever say is it's not a zero-sum game. Everyone can win. So we're just really like happy to support the team doing things the right way. So yeah, and I think the ZK AVM choice is probably the smartest decision because the IMX chain has been a little bit neglected. I'm going to be honest with you, because ever since they decided to build ZK AVM, all development stopped. What they had was enough. It was well and truly ahead of everything else 3 years ago, but they haven't built anything on it for like 2.5 years. Really, hardly anything at all. So it's really been neglected, and there's a couple of games left it now because of that. And I think it's actually made it a bit complicated for players to understand that there's two chains and IMX tokens on X doesn't work on ZKVM and all this stuff. And Passport enables both those chains, but doesn't enable ETH, which is the only wallet anyone's ever heard of that doesn't enable ETH. So, you know, like it's kind of like it's been a bit confusing for consumers, but they're starting to end it now. Like the IMX got turned on today. You can move IMX to the chain now, which is baffling to me that they were launched without that ability. So, yeah.
I think people can look at that negative, but I look at it positive that they're doing that. And if I'm a game developer, they're looking to evolve for the future. You know, if you stay stuck in the past, you're going to go by the wayside. And this whole entire technology and this whole entire space is constantly evolving. And from 1 week to the next, it can completely change. So you want your platform that you're working with to be evolving for the future, because let's face it, as is right now today, it's not ready for billions of people to come on right now. It would absolutely crush it. So you want your company to be evolving, so that way when they evolve, your game that you're bringing to them is ready to evolve with them. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and I like this technology a lot better than what's it called? Stark? Is that what they call it?
Mm-hmm.
The other? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it just feels, I don't know, like coming from, it just felt more like a blockchain, like I was building on a blockchain. You know, we had to, you know, push some contracts out, you know, you can see your transactions. You know, it was just, I don't know, that the other product, it just struck me as it's kind of funny. I'm not deep into the tech aspect of blockchains, but yeah.
Yeah, it's very different, really isn't it? It's very, very different. And they won a lot of business, then lost it because of it as well. So as someone that's tracked Immutable for 2 years, lots and lots of games have said, yeah, we're going to build on Immutable. It's a no-brainer. And then the not being able to, like the API, their ideas about APIs was it was like really, Robbie said, this is the future. There won't be people be using APIs. They won't be writing onto the blockchain themselves, because they're looking at it as a database, you know, rather than as a, you know, like every game developer have to learn Solidity or Move.
Right.
So I kind of thought he got it a little bit wrong, you know. So the ZKVM, the difference is it's a full-blown blockchain where StarkX is. It's StarkX from Starkware. So Starkware has two chains as well, StarkNet and StarkX. And StarkX is their first little cookie cutter, you know, and it doesn't even it only facilitates ERC20 and 721, and it does, like Immutable is just about to come out with 1155 now. It's out already in testnet. So, you know, like you can see that it's also is going to have APIs for the games developers that just want to hit APIs. but it also will have the flexibility that developers can build their own contract if they want. So it's just that they've built that first chain, they've gone, this is where we've gone wrong, and now they're building this one, and it's also going to be F equivalent, which is different to F compatible. It's actually will be cut and paste code and it'll work. So on their chain, as soon as they put the type 1 prover in to place, which is about 2-3 months away, you'll be able to just build on the F and then go, okay, we just seamlessly put it onto ZKVM without any changes at all. So it's kind of like pretty amazing tech what they've built. And yeah, what WT said, it's pretty advanced and helping seeing developers come along with that. We've seen massive uptick in retention of the new people they've signed. Like it's great. I think I've only seen one ZKVM person leave. That was Chibi Clash, and it was because they thought base was the coolest thing in the world at the moment, so they went there, and their sale just failed right now. Just putting that out there now. So yeah, base isn't really the be all end all like they say it is.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's tough jumping into a new community everywhere, but I think that it'll take us some time here, but sometimes what we're finding is sometimes it's a bad thing to be too early. Like we're we're ahead of the curve a bit. I think I don't think obviously the flagship game is doing really well. And that's where most of the gamers are right now. But it's the ecosystem is going to take some time to build up, and that's fine. We can at least we know that we have a pool of people who want a game that are looking at this chain, at this community, that we can reach out to and build from.
Any next big steps for Outlaw Troopers? Anything to come after this sale, or is this pretty much where you're going to be at for a while?
I mean, this is. Oh, go ahead, Martin.
No, you go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, like I said, this is the current season is ending at the end of this month, so this Immutable is going to come in with our next season. So the developer is building some new. A lot of it's focused around making it easier to get into the game, but we're going to see like more of guided like tutorial type things, and I don't think he doesn't have any major updates planned for this coming season. Because adding Immutable players is a pretty big leap for us.
Right. So looking at our user experience. And we have some really cool things, like I said, the interoperability of NFTs. So Martin mentioned that there's ships in this game, and they're not actually from this game. They're from that one I built, that Cosmic Clash one. Mm-hmm. So people can take the ships from that game. If they're in their wallet, they can use them to go on missions. They can use them to fly around in this game. So so one thing we'll be looking at is adding Immutable support to that game too, I think. So you guys, so people could just seamlessly jump into Cosmic Clash and try some ship battles there, and and stuff like that.
Sounds like you guys need to set up a Nexus. Have you heard of Nexus?
No, I haven't.
It's like Immutable's like layer 3. It's not really a layer 3. It's an identical layer 2 to Immutables ZKVM, but it's your own chain with gas tokens that you can use as your own FGL as gas. And if you bring all 4 games over and set up be the first to be a Nexus, because I do believe you were the first to set up the brand new tool that we want to talk about as well, which I forgot about the widget. I want to know. I'm a technical person. WT is not. So WT can be the judge if we get too technical. He can tell us.
I think he just called me a dummy. He just called me a dummy. You heard it.
I didn't mean that. I only meant that a little bit. I meant he's just not as interested in tech as what I am. Is what I meant. So
I know.
I'm really interested to see how that. So what Outlaw Troopers has done is used the brand new tool that Immutables launched, which we talked about in our previous pod. That it's the widget for sales of NFTs. It's all in one. So can you explain to us what that is?
Sure. Yeah. So Immutable built this to help developers create primary sales. And what it does, it just combines like all the functionality that a blockchain person is going to need to buy something, into one seamless, experience where like there's only one transaction. Like it does it takes your token, it mints the NFT and it sends it to the wallet, like all in one transaction. So that's like the, that's like the cool thing that you're getting, and it just makes it a really good experience for the end user. Like, I don't know, have you guys walked through the sales process here? Like, you can swap tokens right in this thing. You can use your debit card to pay for something to transact, or you can just do the normal pay with USD route, like all in one. Nice little step-by-step process.
Yeah, well, we showed that on the last episode that by clicking on buy now, it brings up a purchase page, which is pretty much the toolkit, which is identical like UI to the toolkit. So I'm saying, well, that's actually Immutable's code, not their code. So
Right.
the idea is that you don't have to build any code. You're just hitting APIs. Is that right?
Yeah. You have to build a back end tool to manage your inventory. They don't give you that, but that's pretty easy. That's just saying, okay, NFT X is pending. A sale hasn't gone through yet, so I can't prep it for the next person that has a sale going through. And and then when the purchase completes, mark it as used, so it knows which one to grab next. Which token idea to grab next. So you do have to still build an inventory management system and provide them webhooks to call at the various stages of the widget. But I mean, it's just saved like an incredible amount of time trying to build this all on our own and make it be a flow that users are going to trust and feel comfortable using. Like you said, it's just like their main sales. So people will see it pop up and they'll be like, oh, this is, I've done this before. I trust this process. Pretty easy to use. So yeah, it was, we helped them work out, some kinks and stuff, but overall it wasn't too bad. I think we got it all up and running in just a few weeks.
Wow. So you can build your own primary sale page rather than having to go off a launch pad and pay them 20% sort of thing as well. So, it's pretty. So it saves the developer the cost again. Like that's what we find Immutable does, is that they build tools that stop the developer having to bleed cash. So that's what they've mentioned that many times. They want to be the Stripe of blockchain gaming. So like it's if I don't know if I'm assuming you know Stripe. So like it's 10 lines of code and you can have a payment processing platform in your code. So it's unbelievable, easy to use, and yeah, okay, cool. And other tools around Immutable, you obviously got Passport in, and you're looking to get on the main quest. Is that correct? Is there any
Yeah, we're hoping. It's still, they told us it's still very early on. They're working on building it out so any of their partners can access it. But right now, it's more hand-picked. Just a few projects getting onto that.
Okay.
But yeah, that seemed like, I mean, we were hoping we would get in on that. It's funny because the engineering team, we actually have like a Slack channel with them, so we have like direct contact. They're awesome talking to us. Through all the little issues, but then the marketing team is in its own separate silo. Like we don't get to access them. Like I'm sure if they were accessible, they'd just be like, hey, can you tweet me? Can you tweet me? Can you So I get it. It's it's a little frustrating because we were hoping.
Yeah, I'm
for
sure
more,
that would get crazy.
Yeah, we were hoping.
Have you had?
Yeah, go ahead.
Martin, have you had much to do with the Immutable team?
Well, only on sort of the marketing side, but yeah, it's been really interesting to see like how streamlined that is with like all different forms, to go through, and I can kind of tell from that comes sort of from that experience that they've been very much bombarded with all kinds of requests in the past, I'm sure. But yeah, no, it's been good communication, and it's been really professional. So very happy with that.
Awesome.
I've been a big critic of Immutable's communication side of things. if anyone listens to the pod would know my number one gripe with Immutable, and I've told this to their faces about 10 times, and literally I've got a couple of contacts that I deal with directly, and I said, this is disgusting. Look at this, and I give them feedback that I get from founders but then that's not very often. It's purely like them growing so fast and having 1,000 games building on their chain. They've got 1,000 games building. They only advertise 325 or 340 now. So, they're highly successful. They're victims of their own success. But I still think they could get in some kind of contact system that could just have an SLR of 24 hours to respond. Even if it's, hey, we're really snowed under right now. Is this anything urgent? Like, can we hold off this on 2 or 3 days to get back to you? Yeah. If not, let us know why. And then having someone that's not a technical person just going over the notes and just coordinating what has to happen by what time, sort of thing. And then it could cut some pain out. And maybe I should apply for that. The good news is they've advertised for a global support person, a couple of roles around support, and a developer support person as well. So.
Yeah, I have to say that one thing that was a little bit frustrating at the beginning is like when we put out a launch tweet, we we followed the process, filled out the form to have them like retweet our launch tweet, and then it didn't come, and we were waiting 2 days, 3 days, and we're like, hello, is someone going to like retweet this like they promised? Just like small things like that. It just fell into the cracks, like it was clear that they're super busy. So I'm really happy to hear that, they do have extra roles open, because I think they can probably use a little bit of help there.
Yeah. I think we're on to the 10 questions now. Are we ready to go on that?
Yeah.
Are you ready, Martine? I mean,
yeah.
I just thought I'd ask you a couple of questions there to warm you up. Because
sure.
Roger, we'll talk all the technical stuff with Roger for a while there. So.
Yeah, I was tuned out there, I have to say, but
Your eyes just glazed over.
Yeah. Well, these are really fun questions. We have a blast with these, so this is the relaxing part of the journey here today on Gamers Galaxy. Again, sponsored in part by Token Trove. Don't forget. Yeah. So right off the bat, do you prefer to watch sports, esports, or like streamers?
Ooh, streamers.
Streamers? Like gaming streamers? Or just streamers?
Any type of content. I mean, I'm really into cars as well, but there's not a lot of people like streaming racing games, but I do enjoy that.
Okay. Do you prefer to play sports or video games?
Ooh, tough one. I think I'll go for sports.
All right. What's your favorite sport?
CrossFit.
CrossFit. Ooh, I like that. That's a good answer. Are you a Messi or a Ronaldo fan?
Neither.
Yeah,
even though the Netherlands is really a soccer country, I just couldn't care less.
What? Oh no, I take that question out I've taken that question out because of Americans. They don't know the sport, and I left it in there for you because I was like, Dutch, she'll like soccer for sure, and call it football, please, Liz. I'm an Australian that loves football. I'm a football fanatic.
You know what? In that case, I will pick Ronaldo, because Messi, like during the last World Cup or something, was super nasty when Argentina was playing the Netherlands.
All right.
His true colors come out.
Do you prefer Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, or PC?
Nintendo.
Ooh.
Just a lifelong Nintendo girl here.
What was your first? I won't throw. I could keep going on that. Do you prefer books or movies?
Ooh, books.
What's your favorite book?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
That's so funny to say, like, I don't know, but that changes every year.
Okay, all right, I can respect that. And if you have one, cool, or if you want one, even cooler, Ferrari or Lamborghini?
Ferrari.
Ooh. Okay. Favorite
Lambos are for posers.
I'm sorry, what?
Lambos are for posers.
Oh!
Ferraris are for racers.
Shots fired.
We've never heard that response before.
You'd realize that most of your audience is when Lambo Web3 fans.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, but that's just a meme. I mean, come on. When you really have the money, you should buy a Ferrari and not a Lambo.
Right. And what would be your favorite ice cream flavor?
Mint.
Okay. No one's ever said mine yet out of all these so far. All right. One word. Oh, this is our most infamous, famous question, the one we love the most. One word to describe Elon Musk.
Ew.
Is that your word?
That was the word, I think.
That's like a word.
That's the word.
That was great. Ill.
Not a fan. Yeah, not a fan.
Okay. I like that
Yeah.
one. That we've never heard that one. That was good. All
Yeah.
right. And what is the video game that popped your cherry? Like the one that really started you off on this journey?
Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. If you mean like
Nice.
the really, really like long time ago video games journey.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. And that was the 10 questions. You did absolutely great. That was fun. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, we're getting
me
towards
too.
the end of it here. One last thing. What would you consider a successful outcome for Outlaw Troopers going forward?
Oh, for me, it would just be if there's like so much more. Like, you know, we have like a steady player base now, but I want to see like so many more players into the game. You know, like instead of like a leaderboard with like hundreds of names, so I just wanted to see like thousands on it. You know, it would be so much fun.
Yeah, same. That'd be amazing. Just to have like, you know, season after season, getting some new faces and, you know, really, you know, new like competitors. You know, like we need some fresh people who come in here really want to compete and win, and that would just bring the excitement up to another level.
Yeah. Anything else we missed that you wanted to add about the Outlaw Troopers?
No, I don't think so. This was fun.
Yeah, I don't think so. You know, just that we have that, you know, free to play version up for another 2 weeks. So if anyone's interested in trying it out, just, you know, jump in, and you can ping me in your Discord if you have any questions, and just have some fun and see if you like the game.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. Want to throw in there, they are on X right now with FGL and Outlaw Troopers. We'll put those down with links in the show notes. They have a very, very slick website, and I did get to play your game today, was checking it out. Lots to do in there, so definitely take them up on that free to play time right now to go check out the game. And their NFTs are on sale now. You can get it on Passport or Token Trove. We love Token Trove, of course. And we have a link for that you can use, which will help out the show. If you're not in the Gamers Galaxie Discord, get in there for all the whitelists, all the perks that Rubick goes to great lengths to get. And I want to thank you both for coming on today with Gamers Galaxie. You two have been absolute gems. I'm looking forward to this game to see where it goes, and we're going to do our best to get more and more people looking at this for you. Anything else you want to say before we head out?
Yeah, just
say-
thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Actually-
This was a blast.
Well, I just wanted to say that we're going to delay the giveaway for the free NFT. So thank you, Roger and Martine, for offering our community 22 free NFTs that can get you playing the game with the paid version of the game. So you know, anyone that joins the Discord now can join, still apply to be in the raffle. And I can tell you right now, there's a pretty good chance you'll win one at the moment. So join our Discord and get your free NFT. You know, pretty much. And thanks, guys, for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Again, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 41 of Gamers Galaxie as we talk to these two gems from Outlaw Troopers. Check out their game, check out their website, check out their NFT sale going on live right now on Immutable Passport or Token Trove. We do have a special link to help out the show from Token Trove, so use that. Jump into the Gamers Galaxie Discord as we have all kinds of perks, whitelists, and special opportunities for you to get involved in the Web3 space and the Immutable ecosystem. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Everybody take care. Bye-bye now.